As the battle continues for the last ISIL stronghold in Syria, thousands of ISIL women and children find themselves in refugee camps. Hello, I'm Anand Naidu and this is The Heat. At the height of the Syrian conflict, which started in 2011, thousands of European Union nationals traveled to Iraq and Syria to join insurgent terrorist groups like ISIL. It's estimated some 30% have already returned to their home countries. But as the war in Syria draws to a close, some EU governments are struggling with what to do with ISIL families who wish to come home. And some have been outright rejected. We begin with this report from CGTN's Mariam Zaidi in Brussels.
The names of her grandchildren illuminated in neon lights. School satchels hang by the door. Empty beds. Fatia is waiting. She is a grandmother in name only. Her grandkids, along with their mothers, are in the custody of US-backed Kurdish forces in Syria.
We've already lost enough. I've already lost my son. How much more? I want to close the Syrian story forever, and I won't be able to close it if I take the children and leave the mothers there.
Fatia wants her children to face justice here in Belgium, but that will likely never happen. After a Belgian appeals court ruled the country cannot be forced to undertake any repatriation.
The government is determined to go for the children anyway, below 10 years old. That is what we decided in December 2017, and that's what we've been trying ever since. So we keep on trying to get those children below 10 back in Belgium.
The recent case of Shamima Begum, a British teenager who became an ISIL bride and had her citizenship revoked by the UK, reaffirms the lack of political will EU governments have to allow people to come back. But the Belgian mayor of a small town of 45,000 near Brussels says that the way to counter radicalism is by opening doors to the families of those who went to Syria and to build bridges with all segments of society.
29 people leaving Vilvoorde means that everyone knows some families, and that makes a little bit from Vilvoorde as a small city a kind of laboratory in counteracting and in countering radicalism. And so the first thing I did was saying loud and clear to everyone that Vilvoorde had a problem.
Back in 2013, Vilvoorde was a hotbed of Islamic radicalization. It was even labeled the city of jihadis. Now things are changing. One of those who left and came back to Belgium is almost rehabilitated.
He's doing well. He finished his studies, he's married, he's working hard, he's doing sports. We have a close look at him. He is not seen anymore in radical organizations.
The case of Shamima Begum isn't unique. There are many EU countries looking to limit the rights of radicalized citizens. In Belgium, legislation has been amended to revoke the passports of those dual nationals not born in the country. Mariam Zaidi, CGTN, Brussels.